You wanna lay your head down? You wanna go see peace? You wanna go see peace? You wanna lay your head down? You can. Yeah? You wanna lay your head down and go see peace? Yeah, you sure can. You can do that. Yeah. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Good morning. Good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Hey, Amanda. Hey, Jen. Hey, Avery. How is everyone today? Good morning. Thank you. I accidentally made water slime and I'm trying to fix it. You know what? I got bad news, Nikki. Once it's water slime, there's not really anything you can do. I've tried to go the other way before. Thank you. Thank you. It's hard. It's real hard to do that. I'm not gonna lie to you. You can add a lot more glue or you know what you can do? You can turn it into jelly slime. Hey, Ray. You can definitely turn it into jelly slime. Hello, Aunt Becca. Yeah, say hi, Aunt Becca. She wants to see Aunt Becca. You can't see her. She's not on the screen. She's just typing. Good morning, Susan. Welcome home. Welcome home, Susan. I hope your trip was amazing. It looked fun from what we saw. Yeah, so you can turn it into jelly slime, which is great. We can call Mommy has 2 seconds. Yeah, we can definitely do that. When is the book exchange? Tomorrow. The book exchange is tomorrow after my class. So yeah, I'm gonna go to that. Oh, we're resting our head. Hey, Jillian. Hey, Anya. Maybe we're gonna go to sleep. Maybe we are. I don't know. Guys, yesterday I did good deeds. I went to the Baby Wearing LA meetup as a volunteer, and I got to help like 6 families learn to wear their little squishes. So that felt good. It was a good deed, you know. It was just like an hour and a half, you know, of my day. It wasn't a lot, but it felt good to do something good, you know, to help people. There was somebody there with a like 3-week-old baby trying to learn how to wear him, and they were doing so well, and they were so, like, they wanted to do it so right. I'm really tired, and I have a really bad headache, but I'm faking it really well, Nikki. I've had a headache for 2 days. Not great. Yes, it does make me feel good to help people. Yes, it's true. So that was nice. I'm glad that I think it's my hair that makes me look refreshed despite the headache, right? Are you sleepy, girl? No, you don't have to turn your head. Sorry, I just want to see if you were asleep. Hey, Lauren. Hey, I know. Look how sleepy you are. You can't even keep your eyes open. Why don't you just lay your head down and give up the ghost? I spent all day in bed yesterday. I feel like I was a fighter. What happened, Jillian? What happened? Try a pin to the skin hard between your thumb and your index finger. Really? Okay, I will. I'll do it right now. You had your son's birthday. That's right. How did it go? Pinch the skin hard. Just the skin or the flesh here too, or just here? Because I'll do either. The curl's still holding strong even though you brush it. That's funny, Roxy. The muscle. Okay, I'm doing it. Is it like a pressure point to take the tension out of my head? It was amazing and stress-free because you're prepared. Hey, I love that. Thankfully, I have my work laptop so I can work from home. Yes. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now on both hands. You do it with bag clips. We need better bag clips. I think our bag clips are too sad to actually do anything. Even bought a thing to do it, really. Best with thumb on top and finger on the palm side. Okay, that's what I'm doing. does feel nice. Wow. Huh. See? The more you know. This is why we talk in book club, because you never know. Oops, I did it the wrong way, that one. You never know if some... I didn't even do the milk. I'm sorry, I'll be right back. Hi, baby angel. You want to lay your head down? Want to go sleepy? Do you want to be sleepy, girl? I know you're sleepy. Yeah, you are. Yeah, lay your head down. Lay your head down, Angel. Depending on the type of headache, I've used an ice pack on my head, rotating it all over. Yeah, it's definitely, I'm pretty sure it's from right here. Like, I can feel where the tension is originated. Have you seen the migraine? No. But I did get my husband, so for Christmas, one of the things that I got him was you know, that Theragun. I didn't get him the Theragun, but they have like a mask for headaches. And I got him that for Christmas, and he said it really works. Maybe if he'll hold the baby for like 20 minutes today, I'll do that. But he really likes the headache mask that I got him, if you will. Yeah, he said it really helps. I got so distracted doing all of that I didn't even do the milk. So here we are doing the milk. You want to look over here so that Mommy can see you? Hi. You can rest your head. You can rest your head. You're so sleepy. I can tell you are. I can tell you're so sleepy. Yeah. 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 Grumble, grumble. Yeah. Yeah. We got to grumble at our new cousin this morning. My husband does the hand trick for me, and it works better than trying to do it on my own. It's interesting. Maybe I'll ask him to do it when he wakes up. Yeah, we were helping our cousin with their ring sling this morning, huh? So different. She is good. She's so sweet. Cute little blonde baby. She's so blonde. It's wild. Especially considering how dark my baby's hair was when she came out. It's lighter now, obviously. But it was really dark when she came out. This baby came out blonde with a full head of hair. Full head of blonde hair. It's crazy. Yeah. She's got blonde hair, huh? Yeah. Yeah. And she started to do the newborn grumbles. So we got a video this morning of her going in her sleep. It's very funny. Yeah. Yeah, your cousin's grumbly, huh? All babies are grumbly. Yeah. You're grumbly. You sounded like a goat when you slept. Yes, you did. You sounded like a full goat. Yeah, a goat. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You slept like a goat. Yeah. It's true. Becca heard it. I sent you videos of it, right, Becca? I'm pretty sure I did. She sounded like she sounded like an Ellie goat. Yeah. An Ellie goat. Oh, really? Oh, really, my angel? You sure you don't want to lay your head down? You look awfully tired. You really do. You look so tired. Yeah, you sound tired, too. You look tired. You sound tired. Yes. Yes, a goat or a rocking chair. Yeah. Yeah. Can Mommy hold these? Yes, she can. Lay your head down. You're so tired. Can't even keep your eyes open, honey. She's like this. Yeah. Do you want to lay your head down? Lay your head down. Lay your head down. Lay your head down. Lay your head down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Isabella. Isabella. Lay your head down. Lay your head down. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Good my sweet angel. We're good. How are you? How was your trip? Babies hate sleep, and it's all I want to do. Her dad tells her that all the time. He's like, baby girl, take the sleep while you have the chance, because all of us wish we could have it, right? You know? It's true. My bangs are doing weird things this morning, but it's probably because I slept on them. But they're weird. They're doing some interesting things. Oh, there we go. Let's give in. Give in to the sleepies. Give in to the sleepies. Yeah. Give in to it. It's gonna be so nice. I think we're giving into it. That's what you were telling your 14-year-old niece in Poland. Your 14-year-old niece doesn't even want to nap. Usually teenagers do. I didn't actually, though. My husband did, though. He says he slept through all of high school. Probably because he was growing so much. He's so tall. I wasn't growing, so I didn't need sleep. But what do I know? Could be that. Could be something else. Guys, I think we fell asleep. I had a hard day yesterday. I was speaking to a hotline. They helped. Oh, I'm glad that they helped. I wish that we had those things. Can I tell you guys something that I think is truly, what is in your hair? There's something in her hair. And that's on ADHD. Okay. Can I tell you guys something that I think is literal insanity? I don't want to derail book club, but I think we need to talk about this because it feels like a special kind of jackassery. Are you ready? I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you see that in order to continue certain trade relations, the United States government would like the United Kingdom's government to repeal their LGBTQIA hate speech laws? Can someone clarify for me how that's even relevant to your trade deal? Thank you. Thank you for the hair compliment. And now you're being right, Isabella. I know. I saw that last night and I was like, can you? Exactly. They want everyone to be as bigoted as they are. Like, if you're talking about a trade deal and truly, Amanda, like wanting your country to be full of hate is already bad. That's already pretty bad. But forcing your hate on all the other countries, sorry to say, makes us no different than the terrorists who attacked us at 9/11. Because what was it that they were screaming at that time? Let's be so for real, you guys. We can't be out here touting ourselves as one of the greatest countries in the world if we are pushing our hate on all the other countries too. Not our hate, it's not my hate. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a part of this. You know that. But I'm saying our as in the collective United States. It really freaked me out when I saw that. A lot of things about what's been going on in our country freak me out, but like that felt particularly, yes, ours and the people in government, that's right. It felt like a bridge too, a lot of things have been too far, let me clarify. I think all of it is too far, but like this feels like you can't even, I don't even have the words for it, and I'm usually a fairly well-spoken person, but I don't even know what to say. It's a ridiculous overreach. That's exactly right, Amanda. It is an egregious overreach. I don't know how you can even put something like that into a trade deal. You know what I mean? Like, how do you even say let's just, we're trying, Roxy. I mean, hey, Jamantha, I mean, I don't know what, I mean, if you have ideas, I'm open, but like, everyone is trying to stand up, you know what I mean? Us talking about it is a part of that. There's anything to say, really good people are too stunned to speak. Yes, the people are too stunned to speak. I mean, I was trying to, it is an attempted overreach currently, but like, this is the thing. It would be as if I said to you, you know, I have this ring sling and you have a different ring sling, and I'm gonna trade ring slings with you, okay? I'm gonna give you my rainbow one and you're gonna give me a different one. But I say, you're only allowed to wear the rainbow ring sling with your girl child. If you have a boy child, you're not allowed to wear this ring sling. It would be like I said that, but that's not how trades work. Once it's in your possession, you don't, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get to like dictate something outside of the like, it's a trade. I have this, you have this, we trade. That's how it works. That's what trade is, right? You don't get to say like something unrelated. Even that was sort of related to it. Sometimes I feel bad because I'm not trying to do anything, but I'm also fearful. You're in a different situation, Becca. You have to be careful and protect your family. Excuse me, I won't help you until you stop wearing that shirt. Right, right. Yes, it would be like someone calling a suicide hotline. So I shouldn't have said the word. They're gonna nick me, aren't they? It would be someone like calling a hotline and you being like, no, your hair's the wrong color. We can't help you here. Like, what? Like, it's ridiculous. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. And the reason I'm bringing it up is for exactly what Roxy said. When our, if it dings me, I will restart the live, yeah. When are we gonna stand up? And the answer is now. The answer is now. And if we don't talk about it, then we're not standing up in any way, shape, or form. They're attempting to cut the alphabet assistance with the hotlines. Yes, exactly. Yes, they are. They are doing that. Guys, glasses are an adjustment. Let me be clear for you. As someone who has never had glasses their whole life, getting them at this age was an adjustment. Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. Lest anyone think that I just got a refresh for no reason, I am hiding a significant amount of postpartum hair loss. And I say that out loud so that people know that it's common and normal. I'm not complaining, although I am a little bit complaining, but we have a lot of pregnant and newly postpartum friends in our group. And I want you to know, if you have postpartum hair loss, it is normal. You're not alone. You can get a new haircut and try to hide it. Or don't. Live your life. Do whatever makes you happy. When I first saw your hair, I was like, that's not Miss... Thank you. Thank you. Mrs. Quinn. Mrs. Quinn. That's funny. This is going to be at me at 49. I need a doctor soon. Yeah. You know, it is interesting. I'm trying to be really diligent about wearing my glasses because I never used to get headaches before she was born. And I'm wondering if, because they said that my stigmatism might have been from giving birth. And so if it is, no, he did not yet, Becca. If it is from that, and maybe it's causing the headaches, the like, you know, but I've been having headaches for the past couple of months, Roxy, and I never used to before. So I'm wondering if having the glasses will take away the headaches. Maybe. I don't know if they will. Thank you, Isabella. That's very sweet of you. So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. And maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But I'm going to be diligent, and I'm going to try. Some of the headaches could be the glasses because they will let the muscles relax. Yeah. Let's see what happens, you know? And if it doesn't work, then oh well, but at least we tried, right? I do have another eye doctor appointment on Thursday because apparently there's something weird on the back of my eye, which maybe also could be causing the headaches, and they have to check it out with a specialist, which is really creepy. They took one of those pictures of my eye, and they said there's like a spot on the back of my eye. So that's kind of scary. I don't know what that's about. Whenever I get glasses, I always get told that they will have an astigmatism. Yeah, I do too, apparently. Yeah. You have something on the back of your eye too, Becca? I didn't know that. I guess why would I know that? I can't see the back of your eye. I don't have that kind of camera. That's funny, right? It is a freckle on the back of my eye. That's what they called it, but they said sometimes they can be a sign of other things. So they just want the specialist to check it out. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. But regardless of that, you have one on your eye too? I guess anyone who goes to the eye doctor regularly might know that they had that. No, I didn't know either, Isabella. How you don't know what you don't know, right? But because I haven't been to the eye doctor since I was like 8 years old, I had no idea. It's unchanged, so they aren't worried. That's good. That's good. All right, let's read chapter 17, and we might be able to read 2 chapters today because this one says 20 minutes, and I usually read faster than what it says. So let's see. Those eye cameras are pretty cool. No dilation. I know, really nice. But on Thursday, I have to get the dilation because it's a specialist. So I have to do that on Thursday, which blows because it's not like I don't have things to do, which I do, but it is what it is. Okay, chapter 17. The cannons fire to confirm her death as her body goes limp. Whoever Lulu was, she's moved on. Her slight and starved frame lies quiet, finally beyond the capital's reach, and I lean down and I whisper into her bad ear. A personal message to the game makers. You did this to her. This is who you are. And then for Lulu, I say the things she no longer can. Murderers. In an answer, a hovercraft appears, waiting for me to step aside so that it can collect her body. Lulu won't be on the hill with me, and Luella. They can't send back 2 bodies to District 12 without exposing their incompetence. So where will you go, little girl? Will they send you back to District 11, into soil in the capital, or will they incinerate your body and leave no trace of you behind? Either way, mine will be the last touch of someone who cares about you. The thought of capital hands disposing of her infuriates me, and like my Luella, I cannot give her up without a fight, so I lift her into my arms, and I head into the area of the densest trees that I can spot. Are they showing me to the audience? Can they witness my refusal to hand over Lulu? Do I have capital viewers glued to the screen? The rascal has run off with his district partner again. The rascal will make the game makers chase him down. Delighted laughter, phone calls to friends. Are you guys watching this? See you later, Becca. Lulu's body is noticeably lighter than Luella's. The ferocity that gave her weight has vanished. I locate a clump of willow and hunker down in the center, catching glimpses of the hovercraft overhead. A claw descends, tangles in the treetops, withdraws, and makes a second attempt. They can't reach us. For the moment, she's safe. And as my breathing calms, I realize I'm playing right into Snow's hands. This is exactly the behavior that I've been forbidden to engage in, and there will be repercussions. Deadly ones. I didn't cry this much in the original series. I know, but the problem is, the reason we're crying more in this series is because we're already so attached, you know? It's like the further you get into a series, the more attached you are, right? To me, anyway. And I will have lost my chance then to blow up the tank. How do I salvage this moment? Do I take Lulu out and give them a rascally, just kidding, kind of wave, set her down and then run and hide? Or do I just stay put and wait for the claw to break through and then helpfully place her in its jaws? Indecision immobilizes me. The game makers seem immobilized as well. The hovercraft remains static, the claw retracted. It's a standoff. We're waiting out each other. It would be peaceful if not for the looming sense of danger. It comes in the form of a brilliant blue butterfly, almost the same electric blue of the District 3 outfits. It navigates the willow branches and the lights on a nearby bough. I can't seem to tear my eyes from the pattern of tiny gold lightning bolts across its wings, and then another one over my head, and a third on the back of my hand that cradles Lulu's blood-streaked face, and as if in slow motion, a stinger descends. A tiny spark jumps off of my flesh. As an involuntary scream parts my lips, Lulu tumbles to the ground. The pain blinds me. My vision returns in just in time for me to see a second butterfly come for my face. My cheek explodes with what I can now recognize as an electric shock, as if the butterflies have mini tasers in their stingers. One of Snow's beauties. Raw panic consumes me, and all I know is that I never want to be stung again. I burst out of the willow bower, leaving Lulu to the game makers. Hundreds of butterflies dotting the trees come to life and target me. I spring into the woods, oblivious to all but escape, and they swarm after me. Not with the drunken motion that I associate with butterflies back home, but they go in a straight line. I'm bobbing and weaving, trying to evade them, but they keep landing stings, each one momentarily freezing me. It isn't enough to have left Lulu. These things are bent on torturing me. This is about punishment, as public as possible. I'm not really sure how long this goes. It seems endless, like I'm losing my sanity when I fall face first into a berm of flowers. Afraid of Lulu's fate, I spring up, toppling into a heap beside the berm, frantically wiping my face. But it's not bee-balm, it's the gas plant. As a cloud of butterflies descend, I get an idea. After retrieving my flint striker and a rock from my pocket, I start making some sparks of my own, sending showers of them into the blossoms. 5-foot flames erupt off the plants, engulfing the butterflies and lapping at my chest before disappearing. My shirt front glows for a moment, like a bed of coals, and then it returns to black, apparently fireproof. A few crispy skeletons float down, but the attack has ended. The stragglers loopily fly away, the picture of innocence. I lie gasping on the ground, examining my body for wounds. There's absolutely nothing here. Not a blister, not a scratch, only the memory of the terrible pain. And I press my lips to the flint striker, hoping Lenore Dubs sees me. She knows this is a thank you to her for saving me from the mutts. The mutts. This is it. This is my chance to follow them to their berm. However, I don't jump up. The recent attack has zapped some sense into me for once. For once in your life. Be smart, I think. Do this, but do not jeopardize the arena plan. Why would I possibly be chasing butterflies? One answer only. Retaliation. A nearby branch caught fire when the gas plants blazed. I break it from the tree and take it off in the general direction of the butterflies. When I catch a glimpse of the blue, I know I'm on the right course. Another 20 yards charging through the woods brings me to a berm covered in flowering bushes. It has slid open as if on tracks, leaving a 6-foot wide gulf down the middle of the circle. The butterflies make their lazy way into it, and for the benefit of the game makers, I rage at them, swinging my torch around madly, incinerating a half dozen or so when I notice the berm beginning to slide close. As if in a last-ditch effort, I lunge at the final mutt and succeed in wedging a branch between the lips of the hatch. It clamps shut, crushing the wood, but leaving an 1/8 of an inch opening in the seam. I pretend not to notice it and I slump down next to the berm. The sign reads, "Butterfly Bush." Well, I won't forget that one. I think about going back to look for Lulu, but I know she's long gone. Instead, I make my way back to the bee balm, careful not to inhale too deeply, and I collect my things. Still no sign of anyone else. My skin may be as smooth as a baby's behind, but I'm twitching from the multiple shocks and done for the day. I've achieved 2 of my tasks, though, making a fire and finding a mutt berm. The shadows are growing long, which means I need to start searching for somewhere to sleep. Conscious that my piss-poor hiding place from last night must be improved upon, I'm not dizzy now, so I pick a sizable tree with thick foliage near the butterfly bush, and I climb 30 feet into the branches. I pitch my hammock between 2 sturdy limbs, making sure that if one side gives way, I'll have a fork to catch me. This wasn't recommended in class, but I don't feel secure enough to sleep at ground level again. Famished, I eat 3 eggs and a couple of apples. Surely the sponsors will enable my mentors to replenish my pantry soon. Through the trees, the sunset glows golden, and then orange, burning coals before fading out, leaving me in the darkness. At the sound of the anthem, I position myself to get a clear view of the sky. The first tribute, Morse Not Green. It's the boy from District 1 who isn't panache. And then Lulu, pictured with her snake. I wonder if, anywhere in Panem, a family member or a playmate recognizes her for who she is. The McCoys must know she's a fake. Surely they do. Right now they must be weeping and wondering where their own darling girl has gone. At least that's one terrible conversation that I have been spared. 5 careers gone, 17 newcomers, 26 of us left. The woods quiet down. A clear yellow moon filters through the trees. I honestly think I'm the only one on this side of the arena, but you never know. I wonder how Maisie is doing. It's just the two of us left from District 12 now. And if there's any chance I might see her again, funny thing, missing Maisie Donner. But there it is. Grateful I don't snore, I let myself fall into a dreamless sleep. Something startles me awake though, and I see a parachute with a good-sized bundle caught in the sunlit branches above my head. My first sponsor gift. I untangle it and set it on my lap and take a deep breath. Right now, this could hold anything. And then I open it. A dozen white rolls, still warm from the oven, a block of orange cheese, and what looks like a bottle of wine, complete with its own long-stemmed glass goblet. This actually coaxes a smile from me. I uncork the bottle and I take a sniff. It's grape juice. Bet this cost a pretty penny. Water would have been more sensible, since I'm about through my first gallon, but I'm not complaining. Grape juice is a big treat back home. It's reserved for birthdays and wedding punch. Who sent this then? The lady with the cat ears? Maybe the man that I spit on? Is it Great Aunt Messalina? Right now, I don't even care. I tip the bottle over my elegant glass, admiring it as the juice fills the stem and then the bowl. Giving the audience a knowing grin, I raise it in a toast and I say, "Thank you, my fellow rascals from the capital." And then I take a slow sip, easing my parched mouth. It's so full of goodness, not just the taste, but the happy memories that it conjures up, and I have to keep myself from gulping it down. Accompanied by a few fresh rolls and a chunk of fatty cheese, it restores me enough to face the day. While I eat breakfast, I review why from the Capital sponsor's perspective. I think I've earned this expensive gift. I evaded the bloodbath. With the supplies and the weapons, I survived poisoning. I made a fire, I cooked food, I torched some butterflies, and I found a tree to sleep in. Conclusion, I'm fairly resourceful. I'm clearly selfish enough to win. I'm worried about the districts, that they have a low opinion of me for abandoning the newcomers. Trying to save Lulu might have helped, and if I blow up the arena, I guess I'll be welcomed back in 12 again. Not that going home is a possibility, but still, I want Sid to be able to hold his head up and not be ashamed of me forever. And since I've made a camp near my berm, there's no point in traveling anywhere. Nothing to do but await Ampert to arrive with his token fuse and the District 9 sunflower explosive. I'm pretty worn out from days 1 and 2 of the game, so I just hang out in my hammock, keeping an eye out for butterflies. By early afternoon, I begin to get restless. We should have worked up a better rendezvous plan. The woods are deep and wide. We could easily miss each other. Far north could still be miles away. Something to remember when I get down in that tunnel. I may have a long way to go before I reach the tank. I decide to look for Ampert. As I pack up my supplies, carefully wrapping my goblet in the hammock, I come upon the binoculars and try them out. That inspires me to climb higher and get a better sense of the lay of the land. Near the tippy top of the tree, which towers over the most of it, I can see a great distance, and again I'm struck by the beauty of this place. The idyllic woods, the uniform sweep of the meadows, the snow-capped peaks which now sit under the arch of a shimmering rainbow. I judge the mountain to be 5 or 6 miles away. That's where the rest of the kids are presumably hiding to hunt one another. So different from out here, where I'm purely up against the game makers. The sea of trees continues behind me, but seems narrowed to a point in the distance. It's impossible to tell exactly how far away that is, since everything starts to look a little blurry. Does it indicate that it's the end of the arena? I twist back around to view the meadow again and catch sight of a bit of electric blue near the cornucopia moving towards the woods. Ampert? Worried that I'll miss him among the trees, I climb down and head for the meadow, hoping to intersect with him. Along the way, I cut small, discreet notches in a batch of trees with my knife, leaving markers for my return. Backtracking takes me farther away from my target, but I'll need Ampert with me one way or another. When I reach the tree line, I climb onto a rock and survey the meadow through my binoculars. It's Ampert, all right, about a mile away, tromping toward me. The expression on his face is so grim and so sad, forged by the last few horrific days, and it reminds me that I have had it easier than most. Around his neck I spy 2 sunflower tokens, one stained with blood. At least he's been spared watching his own district mate's death, since none of them have appeared in the sky. I bet he hasn't had much to eat. I'll need him on his toes for the tank bombing. Should I make some sandwiches? Wait a minute. Once again, what am I doing? Why has the rascal, after running away from the newcomers, caught sight of Ampert and returned to the edge of the woods? This is different from Lulu. She found me. My behavior sure seems suspicious, like I've been waiting for him the whole time. I don't think this will matter to the audience, But what are the game makers going to make of it? I told them that I was only out for myself. What could have drawn me back to Ampert? The answer can't be explosives. What would extend my survival? I've got my own food and water and charcoal tablets and weapons. What can Ampert offer me? The one thing I don't have much of is information. I know who's dead, but who killed them and how? Weapons armed the careers. Have they discovered anything to eat or drink here that isn't poisonous? Except for Lulu, I've been alone, and she wasn't exactly a wealth of information. Okay then, this rascal wants an update. Cocky, out for myself, sarcastic, nice to other newcomers. I'm channeling all these things so that I can present a consistent character to the audience. But when Ampert arrives, he throws his arms around me, and I just hug him and I say, "Hey, buddy." Oh, poor kid. It's heartbreaking. Ampert's so little. I'm surprised how small he feels because he's such a take charge kind of kid, but he's only about Sid's size and he's plenty scared. Even the brightest brain can't think a way out of being trapped in the arena. The newcomers need you back, he says. They sent me to find you. Good. That's why the game makers will think he's here. We talked about this. My scoring a 1 makes me dangerous for you to be around, I say for the audience's benefit. I don't want my gifts to dry up because I'm shirking my newcomer duties. Also, Sid needs to hear my motivation for ditching them. Lulu ran off, and then we saw her in the sky, he says. Case in point, I say, stepping back from him. Look, she found me, and now she's dead. We didn't see those poison flowers coming. Those are poisonous too? He asks. Yeah, at least the bee balm is. The gas plant came in handy when I needed to barbecue some butterfly mutts. The game maker sent those after me. You hungry? And he nods vigorously. How about a trade? Some lunch for a mountain update. I spread out a big picnic on the rocks, rolls, cheese, eggs, apples, and a wine glass of grape juice for him. I don't interrupt him as he wolfs down the food, pretty sure that he hasn't eaten much in here. He doesn't even have a pack of supplies, just an axe in his belt and a sun hat made of leaves. And when he finishes, he wipes his mouth and sighs. I wish I could have shared that with the others. The careers got most of the food. How are you guys holding up? I ask. It's tough. We've lost 17 now. All but Lulu were at the bloodbath. Nobody got poisoned? Oh, several of us did, but Welly figured out everything about being poisoned almost immediately, and Hull's pack had a big bottle of that syrup antidote, so none of us died from the poison. Syrup? I had these. I pull out the tablets and I show it to him, else I'd be gone too. Yeah, must have been bad, with no one to look out for you after here. I shrug, and then I have to ask, Wyatt? Ampert reaches into his pocket and passes me Wyatt's token. Panesh killed him, and 5 others with a sword. Bariette's wicked with that trident too. Silka used an axe, is sharp as a razor, and I saw... His voice chokes off. I get the picture. Maiseli's okay though, right? I don't know. She got separated from us during the bloodbath, but I haven't seen her in the sky. I'm guessing she's still on the mountain, same as the rest of the newcomers. We've been trying to stick together like we planned. The careers, they followed us there. As a despicable thought crosses my mind that Maiseli somehow joined up with the careers, but then I remember how combative she was with Silka from that first encounter, and I feel ashamed of myself for even thinking it. I examine the necklace that she wove securely to carry Wyatt's script coin. She spent most of her training hours helping the newcomers display their tokens with pride, when she could have been learning skills to protect herself. Whatever else she may be, Maiseli Donner is not a turncoat. I tell Ampert, yeah, well, wherever she is, she's making trouble for the careers. You can count on that. And when I hook Wyatt's token around my neck, it's like having both him and Maiseli with me. For a while, Ampert and I just sit there, letting the breeze cool us, staring at the ridiculously pretty flower-scented meadow, listening to the songbirds, and I pour another glass of juice, which we pass between us. Every sense is being catered to, every element designed to soothe. We're cocooned in soft pleasures as we face our deaths. So you won't come back with me? Ampert asks. It wouldn't help. I'm a mutt magnet and clearly no judge of flowers. Can you show me around the woods at least? We need to get off that mountain, but no one knows if it's worse here. Yeah, if that's what you want, but I can't promise to keep you safe from the game makers. Ampert laughs a bit. What a funny thing to say. Who could? And then we finish the juice, and I lead him into the woods. My giving him the tour is the perfect cover story, really. Not that he gets much information besides, hey, watch out for that stream, it's poisonous, and the fruit, and those flowers over there too. Basically, I could have just said that everything's poisonous and left it at that, but I play the guide, and I show him the berms with the bee balm and the gas plant, saving the butterfly bush for last. This here's where the butterflies went, the ones I did burn to a crisp. I see him eye the branch, but he only says, "Do you think it's safe to be near their home?" Home. He calls it their home. Is it because he misses his own so much? 12 years old, and he's barely 5 feet tall. His voice hasn't even changed. If I'm homesick, what must it be like for him? Well, I don't really think anybody much is at home, I say. There weren't many left, no more than we can handle. And they don't kill you when they sting you, they just give you a nasty shock. I had dozens, and I'm fine, so it's probably safer than a lot of places since they tend to be spacing out the mutts. Do they? I thought. Maybe, but at least it explains why we should hang around the berm. Could I rest here a bit, do you think? He asks, and I look at his puffy eyes. Yeah, sure. I don't really have any plans this afternoon. So I make him a bed out of my hammock and he tosses a bit and then drifts off to sleep. Looking at him, I can't help but think of all the little ones that seem to end up with me. Luella, Lulu, Ampert, and I can't keep even one of them safe. Why do they flock to me? Oh my God. That's so heartbreaking. I mean, knowing this and then how he becomes a mentor, like this poor man, and in this case, just boy himself, he's just a teenager right now. And he's a good big brother and he's trying to look out for all these kids. It's just heartbreaking. Ugh. When Ampert settles into a deep slumber, I begin my preparations for the bombing, gathering the double wood and pine needles that I did yesterday. And each year he's just tortured again and again with more kids. It's awful. This will be a nighttime job, and the fire's my responsibility, both for illumination and ignition. Since my butterfly torch held up pretty well, I make sure and break off a few more branches from what I judge to be the same kind of tree. Not wanting to waste my fuel, I set up the fire, but I hold off on lighting it. No potatoes tonight. I'll leave them for Ampert, who stands a better chance of surviving our mission. Yeah, re-tortured over and over again. If I do this thing right, blow open the tank and set off a flood, it'll likely take me out. I mean, 6 feet of fuse doesn't allow for much of an escape window. If the explosion doesn't finish me off, surely the water will. I console myself with the thought that either of those deaths will be far kinder than anything the Capitol could devise for me if I somehow make it out of Sub-A alive. Hoping for something better could be dangerous. It could blind me to the reality of my situation. And then I remember how Mama always said, "Where there's life, there's hope." But from where I'm sitting, hope seems like a lot of white liquor. It could fool you in the short run, but like as not, you'll end up paying for it twice. Oh, heartbreaking. Okay, the next chapter is only 20 minutes, so I think we can actually do it. But I'm going to take an aspirin first because I do have a headache. You're okay, honey. You're okay. Shh. Lay your head down, sweetheart. You can go back to sleep. You can go back to sleep, sweetheart. It's okay. Okay, let's see if that helps. Chapter 18, and his tributes until the newest book are there. Yeah. Oh, heartbreaking. Does coffee help with your headaches? Not really. I just need coffee to survive. I don't think it's a caffeine headache. Chapter 18. Do you want to rest your head, honey? Yeah. Let's rest our head. My next roll for slime, I believe, is next week, or is it the 6th? What day is it? You know, I need to look it up. I'm not 100% sure, but I will look it up. It might be the 16th, I think. I will look it up. Chapter 18. When evening falls, I go ahead and start the fire. Monday, July 14th is today. Oh, so the 16th, Wednesday at 5 p.m. Okay, Wednesday at 5 p.m. then is Roll for Slime birthday. Yay! When evening falls, I go ahead and start the fire. Ampert wakes and we toast bread and cheese and then eat it with apples. Come here, lay your head down, honey. You don't need to do that. That's not comfy. Be comfy. Yeah, be comfy. You don't want to lay your head down? You can lay your head down and be comfy, my angel. Yeah. You want to lay your head down and be comfy? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hey. Lay your head down. Be comfy. Be comfy. Okay. When evening falls, I go ahead and start the fire. Ampert wakes and we toast the bread and cheese and then eat it with apples. He says he doesn't want to go back to the newcomers in the dark, and we plan for him to stay the night. In the flickering flames, I remember how my shirt didn't so much as char in the gas plant blaze. Ampert pulls off one of his socks and dips it into the fire, where it glows for a little while before the toes begin to melt. It seems like a clue. Perhaps it's protective, but from what? I've only encountered one gas plant burn. The clothing suggests any number of things could burn. As if inspired by the cook fire, Ampert says he has to try and catch something to eat to repay me for the food. His tokens got entangled up with the 2 District 9 sunflowers, so he removes all 3 at once and lays them on the ground. He separates his fuses and says, I might be able to fashion a snare from this, but do you think the animals are poisonous? Maybe not the rabbits, I tell him. I watched one of them die from drinking the water. It seems just as susceptible as we are. Hi. Are you awake now? You want to play with Mommy's face? Is that fun? Yeah. You think that's silly? Oh, you want to stick your fingers in my nose? Oh, wow. Oh, it's so nice. Thank you. It's very kind of you. You want to stick your fingers in Mommy's nose? You think that's silly? You think that's so silly? Is that so silly? Are you a silly girl? Yeah, are you my silly girl? That's Mommy's hair. Oh, no hair, no hair. Thank you, no hair. It seems as susceptible as we are. Of course, they could be carrying rabbit fever. What's that? It's a sickness. You don't want it, but if we cook it through, it might be safe. All of this is just chatter to meaninglessly misguide the game makers. We're not trapping rabbits or cooking their meat or even counting on being here for breakfast. Worth a try, I say. And Ampert begins to unweave his token, simultaneously winding the black fuse around his hand. And when he reaches the end, he surreptitiously tucks something that must be the blasting cap into the coils. I'll give it a go in the morning. You can keep anything that it catches. And his eyes fall on the sunflowers. Do you want a sunflower? I bet 9 would like it if you wore one. They're the reason that we're in the alliance. Or sorry, you're the reason they were even in the alliance. Oh no, it was really Maisel who won them over, I respond. You should have seen them stand up to Panache. They thought he was doing some big favor letting them join the careers, and they shut him down like that. I snapped my fingers and smiled at the memory. Yeah, I'll wear one though. They were good allies. And I hang the blood-stained sunflower around my neck. The anthem begins, but no faces appear tonight. Still 26 of us, I say, and Ampert wraps his arms around his knees. Can we stay by the fire a while? I don't like the dark. Even though we need the fire for the plot, this rings true. Ampert puts on a brave face, and I can imagine what's haunting him after the bloodbath. Yeah, we can sleep here if you want. I don't think the tree will work for both of us. We can take turns being on watch, I tell him. Go ahead, you rest some more. Can I have some water? So I give him the full jug, and he downs a few swigs. Wake me when you've had enough, says Ampert. I'll be ready. And he takes a final mouthful of water and he lies down, leaving me to call the shots. Okay, I say, sweet dreams. And in a few minutes he's either sleeping or making a good show of it. I keep the... What are you doing, drooly pants? I keep guard, my spear resting on my knees, waiting for its big moment when I use it to pry open the berm. I'm glad... Honey, what are you looking at? What are you doing, silly drooly girl? Why are you drooling all over me? Come over here and drool on your drool cloth. That's what it's for. Yeah, here, that's what this is for. You want to rest your head? Yeah. You can sleep still. You can sleep still. That's its job, and I'm glad of that, instead of taking someone's life. If I make it out of the games without killing anybody, that will be a victory in and of itself. I say my goodbyes then to those I love, Burdock and Blair, Hattie and Ma and Sid, and finally Lenore Dove, my rare and radiant girl, and I try not to be scared, and I tell myself that everybody has to die sometime, and my number is up. In a way, it's a comfort that a bunch of people I know have gone before me, Pa and Mama, the twins and Luella and Wyatt and Lulu, and a lot of the newcomers. Maybe Lenore Dove is right, and I'll meet up with them, and one day with her in another world. Or maybe there's just nothing, in which case it won't hurt anyway. Maybe I I just don't know. Are you being a silly girl? You like the feeling of mommy's jaw moving on your hand? Do you think that's silly? The darkness deepens and the air cools, and when I think it's just past midnight, the audience has gone to bed, leaving a handful of game makers to mind the show, so I light a torch branch, crouching down, and I tap Ampert on the shoulder and softly say, "Hey, buddy, let's beat those odds." And Ampert jumps to his feet immediately, thrusting the coiled fuse into my hand. "You'll have 60 seconds, he whispers. This is followed by an explosive, which feels soft and sticky and like putty when he puts it in my hands and shapes it into a block. And the last mouthful of water has been put to good use. I pocket the materials without further conversation, and we cross to the berm. While he holds the torch, I drive the tip of my spear into the crack held by the branch that left behind yesterday. Using my full body weight for leverage, I pry the sides of the berm apart. The mouth yawns and begins to slide close, but not before I wedge the spear between the lips of it, holding the hatch wide open. To one side, really? Really, honey? Really? She is fully eating my arm. Are you hungry, baby? Are you hungry? You want food? Because you don't need to eat my arm. You want food? Are you hungry? You can eat real food. You don't have to have arm. Here, let's have food. Let's have milkies instead of arm. What about that? What about milk? Here. Yeah. Milk instead of arm. How about milk instead of arm? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, milk instead of arm. Milk instead of arm. Let's see, where was I? To one side, a utility ladder runs down into the depths. A mechanical buzz of protest comes from below, and Ampert passes me the torch. "I'll be here," he says. He looks so young, standing there in the flickering light, armed with only an axe. I doubt he's strong enough to even wield it. I slide my knife into his belt, muss his hair like I do Sid's, and say, "Hey, you're the best ally ever." I know. She was like, "It's skin, that's good enough." And it was like, "It's my arm. It's not going to give you any milk." Let's see where. I muss his hair like I do Sid's, and I say, "Best ally ever." And he gives me a lopsided grin, and I hop onto the ladder. Torch in one hand, I begin my descent. My feet feel stiff, clumsy on the thin rungs. Right, left, I instruct my feet. 5, 10, 20 feet down, and I land on a concrete narrow hallway and turn to my right, which seems in the northerly direction. I trot along with the help of my torch and the dim utility lights that glow along the floor sides. I haven't gone far when I realize the internal wall on my left is not a wall at all. It's metal and ribbed, and every few feet a water droplet shaped like a tear has been stamped at about eye level. This must be the side of the water tank, and it's indeed massive, running from the concrete floor 20 feet up to the ceiling. The droplets stretch as far as I can see in either direction. What could they possibly need this much water for? Do they intend to turn the entire arena into a lake? I hesitate, trying to access the most effective point to place the explosives, and then I give up and slap it a few feet below the droplet to the right of me. What does it matter, really, where the tank is damaged? With a flick of my wrists, I unfurl the fuse and slide it through my fingers, smudging them with black until they find the blasting cap. Luckily, I paid attention in class, and I place the cap in the explosive, and I steel myself. No time like the present. I dip my end of the torch into the fuse and watch the flame eat through the first few inches, leaving only the faintest trace of ash, and then I run like hell. 60 seconds and counting. 101, 102, 103. I track the time in my head as my feet pound down on the concrete. The ladder comes into view, and I fling my branch aside. And as it's slowing me down, I trust that Ampert will be waiting at the top with a second torch. I know it might be wiser to just embrace my death now, but there's something in a person that wants to live, even if it's just for a few more hours. 120, 121. Besides, there's Ampert to think about. I may still be able to offer him some protection. I hear them before I see them, a delicate chirping sound, not unlike a bird, overlaid with occasional squeaks. Whatever they are, they don't sound threatening, but I'm more perplexed than alarmed. Perhaps it's a flock of songbirds that's escaped the flying free from sub-A, like the birds do in the rafters of the chariot horse stable. And as my hands hit the first rung of the ladder, I look up in time to catch sight of Ampert's face, lit by a torchlight, and then a swirl of color obscures his image and spirals down at me. Okay, but why is there still a what if he dies? I know, it's crazy, right?
Transparent wings tinted every color of the rainbow flashes above me. They catch the firelight, making them shine like the hard candy in the Donner's shop window on a sunny day. It would be something to admire, except each 3-foot wide pair of wings carries a vicious face and 2 black feet sporting 4-inch curved claws, genetically engineered bat mutations designed to shred me to slaw. These creatures haven't broken out of the cage. They're a gift from the capital. 136, 137. Hamish, I hear Ampert cry out, catch! And he releases the torch, which scatters the bat formation for just a second, and I somehow manage to grab it. With my free hand, I begin to scale the ladder, waving the fire above my head. But these are no butterflies. They're not simple to ignite and destroy. They're sinewy mammals, and they can turn on a dime. They evade my torch and begin to claw me, taking painful swipes at my shoulder and back, causing the blood to flow. Climb I must, though, because the clock's ticking, and if I'm not above ground, I'll be drowned for sure. I'm not going to make it. I've lost count, but I'm thinking at any moment the tank will blow up and there will be nowhere for the water to go but into this hallway, and I take a final swing at the bats and solidly connect with one, and its claws sink into my thigh. I hurl the torch at their evil faces. My fingers fumble for my belt, and I unhook the interlocking rings, wrap the belt around the ladder, and secure the clasp. I throw my arms around the ladder and brace myself, hanging on for dear life, filling my lungs with deep breaths. About 5 seconds, 3 bat scratches later, deafening squeaks and hisses. I think maybe I've made a mistake. I bungled setting the explosive, or maybe the cap was a dud, or the game makers arrived in time to yank the fuse from the putty. An ear-splitting blast almost knocks me off the ladder, and I'm totally submerged in water. Icy cold blackness engulfs me, rips one arm free, and without the belt I'd be a goner. But somehow I regain my grip, and I cling to the bars with every limb, eyes closed tight against the flood. After what seems like forever, the current eases enough for me to pop open my belt and continue my ascent. Hey, why are we grumbly? Why are we grumbly like that? By this point, the burning in my lungs has pushed all other fears to the background. My legs are floating free, and I drag myself up the ladder. I'm about to black out when my face breaks through the surface. Yeah, grumbly? You're not even eating, you're just sitting there grumbling. Hey, Grumble Pants. Hey, Grumble Pants. Are you done? Are you quite finished? Huh? Huh? I drag myself up the ladder. I'm about to black out when my face breaks through the surface, and between great gasps for air, I choke and I gag up a bucket of water that managed to force its way in, despite my best efforts. The good news is the bats have disappeared, hopefully drowned in the initial wave. Okay, you're just gonna grumble pants until we're done here? Is that it? Are you done eating? Are you done eating, my grumble pants? You wanna go back to your comfy home? You want to go back to your comfy home? Yeah. Yeah, we can reposition. The thing is, although we do know he survives, we don't know what injuries he might have that he doesn't tell Katniss and Peeta. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. There could be so many things. Also, the water lacks the metallic taste of the scream, so I think that they didn't bother to poison the colossal tank, but targeted the streams individually, so my mutt wounds have been washed clean safely, the glass half full. And when I get my breathing and shivers in check, I call for Ampert. Above me, in the dim light of the fake moon, I can see the spear still propping open the berm, but there's no sign of him. Something isn't right. Hold on, I'm going to put her in her little bouncy. You want to go in your bouncy for a few minutes? You want to go in your bouncy for a few minutes? Yeah? Whee! Whee! Wee, 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 wee. 1, 2, woo! Here you go. Here's your Chewy. Yeah, here's your Chewy. Is that nice? Now you have it. Yeah. Yeah, you have a Chewy. That's so nice. Nice Chewy. He wouldn't leave me to fend for myself, and when the wave came, the bats didn't have time to escape through the berm and attack him, or did they? It seems unlikely that they could even fly that swiftly, as the water came almost simultaneously with the boom. So then what happened to him? The careers? Game Maker attacks? I scaled the ladder as fast as my frozen muscles will allow, and I reached the surface of the arena. I surveyed the woods, soft glow, the mix of the moon and firelight. Our campsite remains as we left it, with my pack and the rumbled hammock on the ground. No sign of Amber, but no sign of a struggle either. What has led him to abandon his post? I wrench the spear from the berm, and the lips try to close, but the damage has occurred, and they end up a sort of floral leer, and I softly call out, Ambert? Ambert? No response. My hearing's funny, either from the water or from the blast, and the sound retches in my ears, only just distinguishable from the usual nightmare of hums in the forest. It's animal, but it's distinct from the bats, not chirping, not chattering, coming from multiple mouths. So I grab the hammock and I wrap it tight around my left forearm, thinking a net might come in handy, and I creep towards the chatter. The sound intensifies, making my skin crawl, and I push forward until I break into a small circular clearing. The trees buzz with life, and I make out hundreds of squirrel-like creatures swarming around, their gorgeous golden coats, their shining eyes lit as if from within. They're cute, in a way, but too hyper, bouncing from branch to branch, gnashing their long rectangular front teeth in agitation. They're mutts. They've only paused to emit a piercing rodent scream at the mound of their comrades in the center of the clearing. The boldest are fighting viciously, throwing themselves onto the heap, kicking one way and then another with powerful hindquarters. One flies through the air and lands at my feet before it springs back up, and I spy a bloody scrape of electric blue fabric snagged on one of its incisors, and everything becomes clear. Carnivorous mutts. They're tearing Ambert apart. I promised Beatty that I would not let him suffer, so I fling my hammock to its full length, and I holler and I lunge for the pile. The hammock snares and the furry bodies, and I jerk it toward me, succeeding in unseating a layer or two of the mutts. And then I flip around and I use my spear as a club, and I swing it across the mound again and again, sweeping the squirrels away, and I prepare myself for their attack, for the inevitable tearing of my flesh. But nothing happens. The moment one is knocked free of the mound, it dives back in. These are programmed just for Ambert and Ambert alone. His look, his smell, his taste. I'm losing it. I'm losing the fight. I'm losing him. I know this, but there's nothing to do but keep swinging. I've never even gotten a glimpse of Ambert, just the writhing furry bodies fighting for a piece of him. And finally, as if someone blew a whistle, audible only to them, hundreds of heads pop up and turn in unison at an unseen master, and a mad dash ensues, and in seconds the squirrels have vanished into the foliage. Panting, I watch them fade away, and then I turn back to what I'm meant to witness. A small white skeleton stripped clean to the bone. No flesh or clothing remains, only an axe at its right side and my knife at its left. My lips move, but no sound comes out. Hey, buddy? I stumble forward, spotting his tracker wedged just between his elbow. There's no one to comfort, to ease out of this world. Ambert has been swallowed up by the capital, and his coffin will hold only these pearly white bones. A cannon fires. Somewhere Beatty's heart breaks into fragments so small that it can never be repaired. Mine pounds like a drum as waves of rage surge into it. My heart drops back, and I emit a howl that bounces off the fake sky and echoes around the arena. I want to kill them all. Snow, the game makers, every single person in the capital who has been party to this atrocity. But they're safely out of reach. So I drop my spear, I grab the axe, and I begin to chop away at the arena, determined to take it apart piece by piece. The trees, the berry bushes, the birds' nests. This inhumane sound roars out of me. I'm hacking at a berm of bluebells when... You think you're hilarious, don't you? She's got comedic timing in spades. She's got such timing. She's not happy. No, she's not happy about the turn of events. Are you? No. You're not happy about this? You liked Danford, huh? He was a sweet boy. He's a sweet boy. While we're paused for a second, she will be an instrument one day. While we're paused for a second, I want to say that her description of what it must feel like to be a parent that loses, right? It's getting too dark. Let me lighten in a mood. Yeah. Suzanne Collins' description of what it must feel like for a parent to lose a child is pretty apt, I have to say. Yeah. So it's yeah. My fingers dig into the stuff and I hold my position at the branches as the debris rains down on me. And when the earth settles, I scream at the sky, "Ha! You missed!" And I spring to my feet and start careening through the trees like a wild man. I'm still here. I'm still here. And when I stagger onto our campsite, I catch sight of the berm and I realize that something much bigger than targeting me is happening. The mouth opens and closes spasmodically, sending bursts of blossoms into the air. The trees behind it, a herd of adorable baby deer run through the frenzy, rearing up to show spiked hooves slashing viciously at the air. An apple tree has transformed into a fountain of blue sparks. Clouds of steam rise from a nearby stream. Everything's taken on an eerie, dreamlike quality. Either the arena is malfunctioning or I've been licking toads. Afraid of hope, I slowly raise my eyes towards the night sky, which cuts in and out like a bad television reception. A burst of static dazzles, and then suddenly, I'm looking straight up at the real sky. A gush of fresh air fills my lungs, and moonlight illuminates the chaos. It worked. We did it. Me, and Ambert, and Beatty, and District 9, and a slew of other people that I've never heard of. We drowned the brain. We've broken the arena. This is my poster, right here. I give a wild victory cry and I spin around shouting, "Did you all want a party? Because I'll give you a party." And lightning flashes, a clap of thunder booms, and I dance around the berm, bellowing the first thing that comes to mind for all of Panem to hear, a song too dangerous to sing. They hang the man and flog the woman who steals the goose from off the common, and yet the greater villain loose that steals the common from the goose. I extend my arms, Sid's stars, all of our stars. The law locks up the man or woman who steals the goose from off the common, and these geese will still lack common until they go and steal it back. One moment, please, honey. I jump up and down, hollering, "We got it back. We're getting it back." And finally, I drop to my knees. I arch my back. I stretch out my arms, and I embrace the sky, and only it goes pitch black. All of a sudden, if someone threw a switch, a low hum illuminates the forest floor. What's causing that? I get a bad feeling. To my horror, I see the arena sky flicker back into focus. Shh. 1 minute. No, I cry out. The berm's still going at it. The sparks are still spraying from the apple tree, but the woods as a whole seem to have quieted. Maybe that's okay. Maybe this is just part of it all shutting down. So to be sure, I dig into my pack and I bring the binoculars around my neck and I fly to my sleeping tree, scurry up the tree like a squirrel nut, and I reach... Okay, hold on, honey. We're almost done. I reach the lookout position and I sway in the branches, peering through the lenses for an answer. Hey, sweetheart. Shh. Okay. 1 second. I'm getting you out, okay? We're almost done. Yeah, we're almost done. Yeah. When I reach my lookout position, I sway in the branches, peering through the lenses for an answer. Really, honey? It's literally one more paragraph. Can you just wait for one paragraph? Have I truly broken the arena? Are the games finished? Far in the distance, beyond the meadow, the mountain erupts in a fountain of lethal gold. And I have my answer. The party's over for me. Woo! Okay, so that was a big one. Yeah, it was. That was a big one. Well, that's certainly something. That is certainly something. Okay, well, I'm gonna go because as you can hear, she is, well, now she's calmed down now that we're bouncing. But I'm really sad about Ambert. That really sent me into a deep, dark place. Yeah, I hate it here. Yeah, that was the end of that section too. We're starting a new, we'll be on section 3 tomorrow. So I will see you all tomorrow for that. I do have class today, so we won't have a live tonight, but we do have live this week, so that is good. And I will see you all tomorrow.